There are moments in life when everything feels quiet, almost too still, as if the universe is holding its breath. Then, without warning, something shifts. That is how divine timing works. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't follow the logic of calendars or the plans we make. It arrives like a storm that clears the sky. 7th October carries that kind of energy, the vibration of sudden breakthroughs, where long-awaited answers finally take shape, not slowly, not in fragments, but all at once. When divine timing moves, resistance fades and the impossible becomes possible. For a long time, you may have been waiting, working, hoping, wondering when your season will come. You might have prayed, doubted, then believed again. But there's something sacred about waiting that few understand. It is never wasted time. It is preparation. Every delay has been sharpening your awareness, every silence teaching you to listen deeper. When the moment comes, it doesn't just reward your patience, it transforms your understanding of what patience truly is. 7 October is not just another day. It's the signal of alignment, the point where what's meant for you starts moving toward you with undeniable speed. Divine timing doesn't bend for convenience, it bends for purpose. That's why breakthroughs often happen in ways that shock you. You expect them through one door, but they arrive through another. You thought you were being ignored, when in truth, life was arranging the stage behind the curtain. There are blessings that require you to grow strong enough to carry them. You couldn't have received them before because they would have broken you. But now, on this day, something different stirs, a readiness within you that matches the readiness of the universe. The shift of 7th of October is not random. It's an echo of everything you've already sown. Every sleepless night, every step you took in silence, every time you refused to give up even when it hurt. The energy of this moment is not about miracles appearing from nowhere. It's about realizing that you have been walking toward this point all along. Your consistency was never unseen. Your discipline was never unnoticed. And now, everything begins to synchronize, effortlessly, but not accidentally. This day asks one thing of you: be ready. Not ready in fear, not ready in anxiety, but ready in stillness. Readiness means trust. It means stepping into the unknown without flinching, knowing that the timing of your life is unfolding exactly as it should. When divine timing arrives, there's no struggle. There's flow. Opportunities start finding you. People show up, ideas awaken. Suddenly, the pieces you couldn't force before start connecting themselves. This is the signature of divine alignment. No chasing, no forcing, only receiving. But here's the truth: sudden blessings only appear sudden. In reality, they've been building quietly beneath the surface for years. Every small effort, every moment of restraint, every inner battle has been part of the construction. You were being trained to handle the weight of what's coming. That's why on 7th of October, it will feel like a shock, not because it's random, but because you finally recognize what was always meant for you. Divine timing is precise. You can't speed it up, but you can prepare yourself to meet it. And the preparation is always internal. The outer world doesn't change until the inner one does. The shift begins when you stop asking when and start focusing on how I am becoming. Growth is the signal that the moment is near. And the more you align your mind, your energy, and your intention, the more you magnetize what belongs to you. The frequency of 7th October calls for this alignment, not wishing, but readiness, not waiting, but welcoming. This is the moment to understand that your breakthrough doesn't need permission. It only needs your awareness. Blessings arrive faster when you stop doubting their path. Every resistance you drop becomes an open door. Life doesn't withhold, it waits for your vibration to match what you're asking for. 7th October represents the instant that match is made. When the heart is open, timing stops being delayed. It becomes now. And when that now arrives, you will see how everything you once thought was working against you was, in truth, working for you. The disappointments, the losses, the closed doors, they were redirections. day we're protecting the future that's about to reveal itself. The blessing shocks you not because it's unexpected, but because it's greater than what you thought possible. It comes fast, it comes full, and it comes when you finally stop chasing and start allowing. This day, 7th October, carries the spirit of arrival, the kind that doesn't ask for noise or announcement. It simply unfolds. A new chapter begins not with an explosion, but with a quiet certainty that something inside you has shifted forever. From this point forward, you'll notice the pace of your life changing. What once felt blocked will begin to move. What once felt impossible will start taking form. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing in action. So stand still for a moment. Feel the energy that surrounds this day. The air feels different because it is. The rhythm of your journey has changed. There's nothing you need to chase anymore. Everything you've been seeking is on its way to you, not later, but now. And when it arrives, it won't just bless your life. It will redefine your understanding of faith, patience, and timing. The blessing of 7th October is not just about what you receive, but who you become in the process. Silence is not emptiness. It is space, the sacred space where transformation begins. Many people spend their lives surrounded by noise, chasing answers, forcing outcomes, and wondering why peace feels so far away. But life doesn't reveal its truth to those who keep shouting. It reveals itself in stillness. 7th October carries the energy of that stillness, a moment designed to remind you that the power to receive, to heal, and to awaken does not come from movement, but from calm presence. When the noise of the world fades, you begin to hear what was always there, the quiet voice within you that knows the way. This is not weakness, this is mastery. It's the point where reaction turns into awareness. 7th October is not about rushing forward or chasing results. It's about learning to listen to what life has been trying to tell you all along. The stillness that surrounds this day is not a pause, it's preparation. It's the quiet before the arrival of something extraordinary. You cannot meet a blessing with a restless mind. When you are tense, anxious, or desperate, your energy blocks what is trying to reach you. The lesson of 7th October is that true readiness is calm. The mind that knows how to be still is the mind that can receive divine timing. When you stop fighting the moment begins to work for you. The world outside may be loud, unpredictable, even chaotic, but your peace must remain untouchable. That is how inner stillness becomes strength. On this day, life invites you to return to yourself. Sit with your breath. Feel the weight of your thoughts dissolve. Recognize how much of your life has been spent running from silence, from emotions, from truth. Yet the silence is not your enemy. It is your mirror. It shows you what's real. The more you avoid it, the more distant you become from your own power. 7th October brings a reminder. The one who can be still, even when the world shakes, is the one who commands the storm. Stillness is not inaction. It is focused energy. It means you no longer waste your power on distractions. You learn to observe without reacting. You start seeing patterns instead of problems. When you live in this awareness, opportunities find you. The universe moves faster when your mind slows down. That's why 7th October feels like alignment. It is the day when your inner peace and the outer blessings finally meet. You cannot force clarity. You create space for it. Every time you breathe deeply instead of reacting, you invite wisdom. Every time you choose patience instead of panic, you invite strength. The world teaches urgency, but the soul teaches rhythm, and rhythm can't be rushed. The silence of 7th October carries rhythm, the natural pace of your evolution. Things are unfolding not when you demand them to, but when you are ready to hold them. Readiness doesn't come through effort, it comes through awareness. When you become still, you begin to see how much of your struggle was created by resistance. You wanted life to move faster. You wanted doors to open sooner. But all along, the universe was waiting for you to slow down, to stop clenching your fists around what you think you need, to let go. That is what stillness teaches. That surrender is not giving up. It's trusting that what belongs to you cannot miss you. The energy of 7th October is built on that truth. So be silent, not the silence of fear, but the silence of power. And you are not the mind. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your path. The noise around you cannot change what's written for you. Every person who finds stillness discovers that clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from thinking less, from feeling, from being. And that's where blessings flow. When you no longer chase, you attract. There will be a shift on 7th October, but it will not be loud. It will not come with drama. It will arrive softly, quietly, through awareness. You might wake up feeling lighter, calmer, more certain, even if you can't explain why. That's how divine energy moves, not in thunder, but in whispers. You'll begin to notice how things that once triggered you now feel small. You'll see how conversations that once drained you now fade without effort. This is growth, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that stabilizes you from the inside out. Stillness creates expansion. When your inner world is steady, your outer world reflects it. People will sense something different about you after this day. Not louder, but deeper. You carry peace in your presence. You'll no longer react to every challenge. Instead, you'll respond with wisdom. That's what 7th October offers. Not just blessings, but balance. The ability to hold your ground while everything else changes. As you move through this day, remember silence is a teacher. It reveals the truth that words cannot. It shows you where you've been scattered and where you must return. The more you embrace it, the clearer your vision becomes. Your intuition grows stronger. You begin to feel when something is meant for you and when it's not. You stop forcing outcomes and start trusting direction. 7th of October is a spiritual doorway, but it only opens for those who are quiet enough to hear it. Don't rush, don't search, just breathe. Let the noise fall away until only awareness remains. The world outside might look the same, but inside, something monumental will shift. And that's how transformation begins. In silence, in calm, in peace. This day is your reminder that stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the foundation of power. When you learn to stand calmly in the center of your own being, everything you've been waiting for starts to move toward you. Letting go is not about losing, it's about clearing space for what's meant to arrive. Many people carry their past like a weight, dragging old stories, old fears, old versions of themselves into every new beginning. But nothing new can enter a space that's already full. 7th October carries the message of release, the sacred reminder that freedom doesn't come from control, it comes from surrender. The more you try to hold on, the more life has to pull away from you. But the moment you let go, everything that belongs to you begins to return, stronger, clearer, and real. On this day, there's a shift that calls for emptiness. Not the emptiness of despair, but of readiness. You cannot pour fresh water into a full cup. You cannot receive blessings while still gripping what has already expired. The world has been training you to hold tighter, to plan harder, to never lose your grip. But divine energy doesn't work through force. It moves through flow. The lesson of 7th October is to allow, to trust, and to stop fighting what is already finished. When something ends, it is not punishment, it is preparation. There are seasons in life when things must fall away. Relationships, habits, even identities you once thought defined you. It hurts because the ego resists change. But growth is not about keeping everything that feels comfortable. Growth is about releasing what limits your expansion. The energy of 7th October will not let you stay the same. It will ask you to drop the version of yourself that was built on survival and step into the version built for creation. You can't hold both. You must choose. Letting go is not weakness. It's a declaration of trust. It's saying, I believe there is something better waiting for me beyond what I can see. When you release, you are not giving up. You are opening up. The old story must end so that the new chapter can begin. On the 7th of October, that door opens. but you can't walk through it with the weight of yesterday on your back. You have to set it down, even if it feels uncertain. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is not climbing the mountain, but deciding what you must leave behind to reach the top. You can't carry everything with you. You can't move into your future while clinging to the past. This is the truth that 7th October whispers. That release is not loss, it's alignment. Every time you let go of something not meant for you, you make space for something that is. And that something always comes, not when you demand it, but when you are empty enough to receive it. Think of the moments when you've been forced to let go of someone, of a dream, of a plan that didn't work. At first, it felt like breaking, but over time, you began to see the wisdom behind it. You became lighter, more aware, more real. That's what release does. It refines you. It burns away illusion until only truth remains. The blessing of 7th of October is that it will push you toward that truth, not gently, but powerfully. It will remind you that holding on to what's gone is a silent act of self-sabotage. When you stop trying to control everything, life flows again. When you stop demanding certainty, peace returns. You'll begin to feel how much energy you've been wasting on things outside your control. You'll see how often you've tried to fix what was never broken, to chase what was never yours. On 7th of October, you are asked to release that exhaustion, to breathe, to let life move as it must. Because when you do, the blessings that were waiting behind the blocked door will start to pour in. Letting go also means releasing your own expectations. The belief that things must happen a certain way at a certain time with certain people. The universe doesn't follow your schedule, it follows your alignment. The more flexible you become, the faster life blesses you. When you trust the rhythm instead of forcing the result, everything starts to fall into place. That's the essence of 7th of October. The understanding that release is the gateway to renewal. So if you feel something slipping away, don't chase it. If something ends, don't beg it to stay. Bless it, thank it, and let it go. Your energy is sacred. Don't waste it on what no longer vibrates with your growth. Every ending is clearing space for a higher beginning. And this day, 7th October, carries that exact vibration, endings that lead directly to breakthroughs. It will feel like loss at first, but in time, you'll recognize it as liberation. There is beauty in emptiness. It's the pause before the melody begins again. The tree must shed its leaves before new ones can grow. The sky must release the storm before the light returns. Life follows that same pattern. Release, renew, rise. You are no different, so allow yourself to shed. Allow yourself to empty. Don't fear the silence after the letting go. That silence is the sound of creation rebuilding your path. As 7th of October unfolds, you may feel an invisible weight lifting. Memories may surface. Emotions may rise. That's not chaos. That's cleansing. Don't resist it. Let it pass through you. Because when it does, you'll feel new strength, new calm, new focus. You'll feel lighter, but also more powerful. This is the reward for surrender. Clarity, the ability to finally see what's truly yours. Letting go is an act of faith. It means trusting that you are supported, even when you can't see how. And on the 7th of October, that trust will be tested and awakened. You'll feel the balance between holding and releasing, and you'll know exactly what to choose. This is not a day of loss. It's a day of return, the return of your power, your peace, and your alignment with what's real. The hands that once clung in fear will open in freedom. And when they do, life will finally place in them what has always been waiting to arrive. Life often hides the most important lessons inside the moments you least understand. What looks like a setback, what feels like rejection, is often the beginning of redirection. 7th October carries this truth in its core. The reminder that what seems to be against you may, in fact, be shaping you. The energy of this day is not gentle, it's awakening. It reveals the opportunities you've been blind to because your focus was trapped in disappointment. What you call delay is not denial, it's design. what you call loss is often protection. Every person reaches a point where they feel forgotten by life. They do everything right, yet doors refuse to open. But the universe never closes a path without preparing a better one. The problem is not the closed door. The problem is your attachment to it. 7th October is that moment when you are invited to turn around and finally see the door that's been waiting behind you all along. This day shakes your perspective. It removes your illusions. It opens your eyes to the opportunities that have been quietly standing in your shadow, waiting for you to notice them. Opportunities rarely shout. They whisper. They come disguised as challenges, as detours, as moments that test your patience. When life delays something, it's not punishing you. It's adjusting the timing to protect your growth. You may not get what you wanted, but you will get what you need. 7th October brings this awareness sharply into focus. It will make you look at your life differently, not through the lens of why me, but what is this teaching me? The lesson is always bigger than the situation. The pain is not punishment, it's preparation for perception. You have to train your eyes to see beyond appearances. When something breaks, ask what it's creating space for. When someone leaves, ask what energy is being cleared. When things fall apart, pay attention, something more stable is being built beneath the surface. 7th October will magnify this understanding. It's a day when hidden blessings begin to surface, when past confusion starts to make sense, and when you realize that life was never working against you. It was working through you. The mistake most people make is trying to interpret life too soon. They see a single chapter and call it the whole story. But the story is still unfolding. You can't see the full picture while you're standing inside the frame. The events that don't make sense now will one day be the foundation of your strength. The frustration that once broke you will become the wisdom that guides others. The obstacle that stopped you will become the discipline that defines you. That's the mystery of 7 October. It shifts your understanding from victimhood to vision. On this day, you will feel clarity emerging from places that once confused you, and you are not the mind. Maybe the job that didn't work out will suddenly make sense because it pushed you towards something greater. Maybe the silence from people you once depended on will reveal the importance of your independence. Every challenge you faced was shaping you for a purpose you couldn't yet see. The message of 7th October is to trust the unseen process, to believe that even in stillness, the design continues. The hidden opportunity always exists in the same space as struggle. They are not separate. When life tests you, it's not asking you to suffer. It's teaching you how to see. The more aware you become, the faster you recognize blessings in disguise. That's how growth begins, not by adding more, but by perceiving differently. 7th October is the turning point of perception. It calls you to stop cursing what went wrong and start asking what's being revealed. You'll notice that the more you shift your mindset, the lighter your energy becomes. Things that used to frustrate you will start losing power. You'll stop reacting and start responding. That's when life begins to cooperate with you. The universe moves with those who move in awareness. This day teaches you that you are not being tested. You are being taught to see clearly. Every delay has direction hidden inside it. Every challenge contains a hidden blessing waiting to be unlocked by your perspective. There's a rhythm to life, and 7th October falls into that rhythm as a pulse of awakening. It pushes you to align with flow instead of resistance. It's not asking you to understand everything instantly, but to trust that understanding is on its way. When you let go of control, clarity arrives naturally. You begin to notice patterns, how one decision led to another, how one door closing led you to a better path. That awareness is the true blessing. It's what transforms confusion into confidence. When this awareness lands, gratitude replaces frustration. You start to thank the past for what it taught you instead of hating it for how it hurt you. You start to recognize that pain was never your enemy. ignorance was. 7th October becomes a mirror, not showing you what's missing, but what's been within you all along. The strength, the patience, the discipline, they were all built in the moments you thought were breaking you. By the end of this day, you may not see everything clearly, but you'll feel something shift. The heaviness will begin to lift, the tension will ease, and the future will no longer feel so far away. That's because 7 October aligns your inner vision with divine order. You'll begin to sense new directions forming, new ideas rising, new hope returning. Opportunities will start appearing, not because they weren't there before, but because you finally stopped staring at the wrong door. Remember this truth: nothing is wasted. Every disappointment carries a hidden assignment. Every ending hides an introduction. Every fall plants a seed for growth. 7th October reveals that the delays you once feared were actually blessings arriving in disguise. It shows that every step backward was preparation for a leap forward. The lesson of this day is simple. Look again. The opportunity you're searching for is already here. It's been waiting for you to see it through new eyes. Faith is easy when everything is clear, when life moves smoothly, when doors open, when timing feels perfect. Anyone can believe then. But real faith begins when you can't see the path, when nothing makes sense, when silence feels endless, when it seems like everything you've built is being taken apart piece by piece. That's where growth begins. 7th October carries the energy of that kind of faith. The faith that doesn't depend on what you see, but on what you know deep within. It's the day when the unseen becomes stronger than the visible. You are being taught to trust the process, not the comfort. The universe never asks you to understand everything. It asks you to believe that everything has purpose. 7th of October is a day that tests this belief. It asks, will you hold on when the evidence disappears? Will you stay grounded when life shakes the foundation beneath your feet? True faith is not fragile. It doesn't collapse under pressure. It grows stronger in the dark, like roots growing deeper in the soil before the bloom. There are seasons where you will feel like nothing is moving. Prayers seem unanswered, opportunities seem gone, and you begin to doubt your path. But faith doesn't need visible proof. It needs endurance. It needs the ability to stand still in uncertainty and still whisper, something good is forming. That's the vibration of 7th October, the invisible work of transformation. What you can't see is not absence, it's preparation. What you think is silence is actually alignment taking shape. Faith is not pretending everything is fine. It's standing in truth while still believing it will turn out right. The universe never wastes a struggle. Every challenge has a lesson hidden within it. Every delay refines your patience. Every heartbreak expands your compassion. On a 7th of October, this truth becomes real. You'll feel how the pressure that once felt unbearable has actually been polishing you into clarity. The breaking was not punishment. It was the only way to open you. You have to learn to trust beyond emotion. Feelings rise and fall, but truth remains constant. The process may not always feel kind, but it is always precise. The moment you stop fighting what you don't understand, peace begins to return. That is what faith brings, not control, but calm. Not answers, but awareness. 7th October is the point where you are asked to choose peace even when you can't predict the outcome. Because peace is the proof of faith. Life doesn't test your strength by giving you easy roads. It tests you by giving you moments where all you have left is belief. When everything external fades, what remains is your connection to the source of all things. That's what faith builds, the unshakable center inside you that nothing can disturb. On the 7th of October, that center is awakened. It's the quiet reminder that you've survived every uncertain day before, and you'll survive this one too. Sometimes you think you've been delayed, but you're actually being protected. Sometimes you think you're losing, but you're being redirected. 7th October holds this dual truth. It shows that faith is not blind, it's deeply aware. It sees what the surface hides. It feels what logic cannot explain. It knows that there's timing at play greater than any human plan. When you understand this, you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. Faith also means trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, your inner voice, your alignment with truth. You are not walking alone. Every event, every meeting, every setback has been carefully placed for your growth. The more you align with that awareness, the less you fear uncertainty, because faith and fear cannot live in the same space. 7th October invites you to choose one, and the choice you make will shape the energy that follows you. You might feel tested during this time. Things may appear to slow down. Opportunities might pause. But that pause is sacred. It's the silence before the breakthrough, the stillness before the acceleration. Faith fills that silence with meaning. It turns waiting into preparation. It transforms doubt into strength. When you carry faith, you stop needing to rush. You start trusting that what's meant for you will not pass you by. It will meet you exactly where you are when you're ready to receive it. On this day, something shifts inside your perception. You begin to realize that uncertainty is not your enemy. It's the space where growth happens. You learn to rest without giving up, to breathe without needing to know the next step. That's the quiet discipline of faith. It's steady. It doesn't shout. It just continues moving forward with conviction that light will come, that alignment will happen, that what's written for you cannot be erased. You may look back later and realize that the moments you thought were your lowest were actually the ones where you were being shaped the most. The times when you felt forgotten were the times when your strength was being built. This is the sacred irony of faith. It often hides behind struggle until the right moment reveals its purpose. 7th October is that revelation. It brings understanding, closure, and clarity to things you once questioned. And when that realization lands, peace follows. You stop needing to know when, because you finally trust the how. You stop searching for proof because you start feeling it within. You stop chasing signs because your presence becomes the sign. Faith transforms you into someone the world cannot shake. No storm can break a heart that trusts the process of becoming. 7th October stands as a reminder that everything you've been through was never in vain. Every delay carried direction. Every fall carried wisdom. Every ending carried protection. The only thing that was required from you all along was faith, not perfect, not constant, but present. Faith that the light will return, that the path will reveal itself, that you are guided even when you don't understand the plan. And when you hold that belief steady, the blessing will arrive not as a surprise, but as a promise fulfilled. There comes a moment when life stops whispering and begins to roar. 7th October is that moment, a day when the unexpected enters quietly and yet changes everything, the kind of blessing that doesn't knock, it walks right in. It catches you off guard, not because you were unworthy, but because you finally reached the point where your energy matched what was waiting for you. The unexpected blessing arrives when the old weight is gone, when you stop chasing and start allowing. 7th October carries that silent but unstoppable power, the kind that makes you pause and realize that all your waiting had a purpose. You see, blessings are not a random. They are mirrors of your state of being. What you see outside is what you have already built inside. Many people live thinking that blessings are rewards, but they are reflections. When your inner space becomes clean, life rushes in with gifts you didn't even ask for. 7th October reminds you that you are not waiting for life to give. Life is waiting for you to open. Every single blessing that will shock you that day is not arriving from above the clouds. It is unfolding from within your own energy field. There is something sacred about divine timing. Sometimes you think you are ready, but life delays what you want. The truth is, the blessing was always there, only your readiness wasn't. 7th October is the alignment of readiness and divine grace. The day when the two energies finally meet. The lesson is not about speed, it's about alignment. You don't rush the blessing, you become it. when you walk in stillness, when you rise above chaos, when you live from truth. Blessings cannot avoid you. They find you like rivers finding the sea. Many people fear the unknown, but the unknown is where the real gifts are born. You cannot expect a miracle and still cling to comfort. 7th October holds the vibration of the unknown, the kind that shakes your routine, breaks your logic, and restores your faith. It is not a day of ordinary reward. It is a day when the invisible becomes visible. When things suddenly start working that never did before. When the answer you were searching for appears in a form you didn't recognize. The shock is not from what happens, but from how suddenly clarity arrives. Understand something powerful. Blessings are not meant to entertain you. They are meant to evolve you. What comes on 7th October may look like a gift, but in truth, it is a calling. A call to step into a higher version of yourself. A call to live from truth rather than fear. A call to trust that what you receive is not random. It's preparation for what's next. This is why you must not resist it. When life opens its hand, do not question why it chose now. Accept with humility. Receive with awareness. The most dramatic shift happens when you finally stop asking, when will it come? And instead whisper, I am ready. That small change in frequency is what turns ordinary days into extraordinary ones. 7th October represents that shift. It's the moment the seed breaks the soil. It doesn't care about applause. It doesn't wait for perfect weather. It just grows because it must. So must you. That's how blessings operate. They appear when your energy declares growth as non-negotiable. You might feel the blessing before you see it. Maybe in a calmness that replaces anxiety. Maybe in a strength you didn't know you had. Maybe in opportunities that suddenly align after long seasons of waiting. But no matter how it comes, it will feel like a restoration, not of material things, but of belief, peace, and purpose. The kind of restoration that makes you say, now I understand why it took so long. On 7th October, everything begins to make sense. The closed doors, the delays, the disappointments. They all form the pattern behind the masterpiece. Sometimes what breaks you was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to open a hidden gate within. Every challenge was polishing your readiness, shaping your vision, preparing your heart to receive something pure. When the blessing arrives, do not treat it like a surprise. Treat it like recognition. The recognition of all the inner work you have done, all the faith you held when nothing made sense. You are not being rewarded, you are being revealed. The world will see a glimpse of what has been quietly building inside you all along. That is why 7th October will not just bless you, it will transform how you see yourself. And this transformation will not be loud. It will be silent, but deep. You will wake up with a new awareness, a new peace. You will no longer chase the next thing. You will attract it. You will no longer beg for clarity. You will embody it. You will not fight to prove your worth. Life will reflect it back effortlessly. So when 7th October arrives, stay calm, stay aware, and stay open. Let go of all the noise in your head. What's meant for you will not miss you. What's written for you cannot be rewritten against you. This day will unfold exactly as it should, not to impress you but to awaken you. It will remind you that divine blessings are not surprises. They are confirmations. Confirmations that you are in alignment, that you are growing, that you have finally stepped into your rightful path. Remember, 7th October is not a miracle day by accident. It is the day your energy, your faith, and your readiness meet destiny face to face. And when that happens, life doesn't ask permission. It simply delivers.